This is Spot On Sports. I'm here right now with former TCU quarterback, Seattle Seahawks, Trevone Boykin.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's so good to have you in the building, man.
Thank you.
SportsCon 2023. How you feeling with the vibes, man? I saw you walking around here.
Man, I've been, like I said, my guy Andy put together a great event to come here and be able to support businesses and advertise and get yourself out there as much as you possibly can and be able to just see new things and meet new people and just be able to mingle and mix. So, man, I've been having a tremendous time out here, being in the city of Dallas, being from Dallas. So I really appreciate everything SportsCon done and will continue to do.
So I got to get into more of the SportsCon stuff, and then we'll talk some football talk, Trevone, man. This Andy guy, I've been hearing a lot about him. Now, I'm a rookie in the building, so I'm going to look green behind the ears right now, but obviously he's had the incredible innate ability to bring all of y'all together in one building with all these vendors, big businesses, small businesses, creatives and curators alike, just like this atmosphere. And what do you think when you look at everybody and you're like, man, these people are really here?
Man, the one thing I would say is he has an amazing team.
Yeah.
He has an amazing group of people around him too, because, I mean, as you know, his success is just not up to him. I mean, the people he have around, the people that help put this thing together, I mean, them the ones you really got to tip your hat to. But Andy is just one of them people. First of all, I met him through Tony Romo, right? Okay. So him and Tony Romo is his cousin. Yeah. And me and Tony, we've had conversations since I've been at TCU. So great person to talk to, great person to know, knowledge crazy. Yeah. You already know how that is. You know how Romo is. But and it's crazy. And I respect his game. I respect his mind and the grind that he put into it. And even Andy, you can see the same thing in him with what we see here today and what they put together. So it's a great event, man. I can't wait to it's annually, so can't wait to be back next year to kick this thing off again.
Well, speaking of great minds, TCU, you were one of the best quarterbacks to come through that, man.
Yeah.
And let's talk about it, man. The TCU days, being a Horned Frog.
For real.
Those days were. It's crazy to watch you, man. It's crazy to watch you on TV and everything. Take me back there. What was it like, just going through the grind?
Man, I ain't
being a quarterback at
right.
TCU.
And people, it's crazy. Everybody got a story, right? Everybody got something. But, like, man, when I first kicked off at TCU, it was not all glitz and glamour how it ended. You feel me? Like, we really went through it. We went through some growing pains. We had some ups. We had some downs. As far as me and my career, I always felt like I was talented enough to play, just didn't know where or what. And so, and I had a conversation with one of my homies the other day. I was like, really on the cool, I don't know too many athletes, because from that, okay, you look at Taysom Hill, guy that can go back there and play QB. He can really go out there and play tight end. He can probably play some defense too if you put him out there. I don't really know too many people. If you look at, but can everybody go play quarterback too though? Right. Can they do that? And I was me. I feel like Lamar can probably do it. He can go play receiver, running back, maybe a corner or something. But you look at guys like they're not athletic enough to thrive and really go play at the highest level in multiple positions. Besides guys like me, or you had guys before me, and they were talking about like Cordell Stewart. A lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's plenty of people, but it's just like, can they, like Julian Edelman, Cordell Stewart, can they get in there and run a pro style QB?
So how does athletes like yourself how do you find your niche, knowing that, okay, I can kind of do everything. I can throw the ball, I can run, I can play receiver, and that's how you find your way on the field. That's how how you stay and work. But like, how do you really say, I still have to start at least this one base?
Yeah, mine was, you can't let nobody get you distracted. Like, at the end of the day, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to play QB. That was where my heart was. And no matter if you did throw me in the game at receiver, I was going to do my thing, because I'm putting that on film, but I still wanted to play QB. So when I got my opportunity to get in that QB, I wanted to make sure that I signed. You feel me? Like, that was me. Right. And you just got to, whatever you want to do as far as, because if you're being an athlete, the coach kind of really dictate where he want to put you. You feel me? Like, you might have a coach that just don't want you to play quarterback at a certain time. He might, look, you're an athlete, we want to play you as safety, because coaches do it all the time. You see people who play running back or something, or linebacker in high school, when they get to college, they're at a different position.
Right.
And so people get changed all the time. You got to kind of stick with what you know And it's a business decision at the end of the day. If you plan on playing it at the next level, what do you think you can do
where I can last
to last longer and make it? Because it's hard. Like,
and speaking of that, my next thing I want to touch on is the stigmatism of the black quarterback. Oh my God, he can run fast.
Yeah.
Oh my God, maybe he should play receiver. Maybe he should play running back. He can't make these type of passes.
Yeah.
Like, what is it for you to see that and still see it like with Lamar or Deshaun Watson and, those guys that have come through and gotten drafted in the past, and it's like, oh, well, he should do this.
Yeah.
Well, no, I can't play quarterback. Like, what's the proving grounds like?
Man, it was crazy. I kind of give you a little backstory. Everybody knew me from college. A lot of people knew the stats, everything, the numbers I put up. So like, look, when I get to the combine, right? This is how they try to play mind games with you. When I get to the combine, I'm in a quarterback group, right? I come up to do like a little test, and he talking about Trevone Boykin. Don't you play receiver? I'm like, come on, bro.
He said my whole name and didn't ask me if I played receiver.
Come on, bro. This is the stigma they try to put on you. These are coaches that this is what they want you to do. And I'm just like, I never understood. I put up better numbers than Johnny, right? I put up better numbers than a lot of people who then came out the same offense, but I never got the same respect. I never understood why. But to this day, I don't understand why. But guys like Lamar come in and just crush it and kill it and be like, okay, see, look, we tried to tell y'all
that we can
do this. You know what I'm saying? So the more people get in there and do it, the more guys like Deshaun, Pat, Lamar, the more they get in there, Kyler, the more they get in there and just keep popping, it's going to be better each and every year because guys are going to come out mobile. It ain't so many Tom Brady's left.
That's true. and tell me this, Trevone, like, the one thing I've always feared for, my fellow brothers as black quarterbacks was the fact that the leagues, professional sports is now so in love with the fact that y'all can be dual threat. Mm-hmm. But the minute the legs are no longer a factor, this thing of they have just moving on, or oh, we don't want to pay this guy, or because the one thing that we wanted him to do. And remember, the more you run, it's the chances of an injury or something.
That's why Lamar was going through what he went through.
Exactly. So, like, what is that? Like, and I guess my question is it a way to hopefully avoid this, or
it's really, to me, it's really no way. Like, I look at it like this.
Because you got to use your legs.
Coming from a fan standpoint, right? They don't understand that, like, they only see the player, right? They don't understand that this shit is still a business.
Yeah.
It's still business, right? So, on the player standpoint, yeah, he knows that, right? You got to know the odds you got against yourself. The more I run, the more I'm acceptable to get hurt, right? But there's no loyalty in this game. You feel me? That's what everybody be sleeping on. Like, there's no loyalty, especially when it comes to business. You feel me? Like, we only see what we see on TV. Like, we're fans of certain play. Like, when we see guys go make big trades, Russell Wilson goes here, Aaron Rodgers go there, we be trying to, like, y'all want the player to be loyal to the team, but the team ain't got to be loyal to the player. Right. And that's the business side. You feel me? Like, that's why, like, even people was telling me Deshaun shouldn't have signed that deal in Houston if he didn't want to be there. I'm like, he had to. The business side of that deal, he had to sign it. You feel me? Like, he got to sign it. Even if you wanted the man to trade, I want to put that in ink first before I do this. You feel me? So, man, it's no loyalty really, and that's the best thing. Like, I always look at them how they looking at you.
Yeah, and let's get to the next one. So you get to Seattle, this draft process and everything. Because one thing I've always said is, man, the media, they'll put you guys out there, draft. Trevone is and all the things he can do, and then the season starts. And we don't get to hear, about you guys as much anymore, until you guys do get on the field. What was the draft process just like, and then getting to Seattle?
It was fun, stressful, like all at the same time.
I know the interviews and everything.
Right, like it's something like, okay, man, like I always wanted to play in the league, but I didn't think I was gonna have to do all this to go play. You feel? Like, for real, let's just be quite honest, man. A lot of people like, bro, like, come on, bro, you're not trying to do all this.
Yeah.
Like, I even feel a certain way about the combine. I feel like, yeah, you can do 40s and stuff like that, but to me, I really want to go see guys compete. I want to see some one-on-ones. I want to see some 7-on-7. I want to see, can you read and retain a play? You feel me? I want to see, can you read? So that's how but like just going out there throwing on air, I can do that all day.
Should the draft process be different?
I think it should be the combine process should be different, which may help the draft process be different. I don't know, but I think the way it's set up is perfect.
And I'm saying, because I watched Trevone throw a pass, and now I'm watching him do the same thing in the combine. Like, yeah, I knew he could do that.
Right.
Like, what's the difference?
It's just a constant, consistent hunger for grind. They just want to see, like, because you do have guys, right, that may not shined on the field per se that year, that might come in the combine and kill. And they're like, wait, and before you know it, he done went from being undrafted to like a 4th round pick. Give it all out the combine process. So you gotta respect it, but it's pros and cons to everything. You gotta respect it, but it's pros and cons to it all.
So in your minds, should it be combine or just pro day? Or is a pro day just really an extension of?
I think if you do combine, I think you do the skill stuff, right? You do your 40, you do the height, the weight, the jump, the bench press. But I think that needs to be a day. And granted, you don't want to get guys hurt. That's their whole thing. You don't want to get nobody hurt. But bro, this is football. Like, we came out here to compete. We've been the high school recruiting process. You have to go to camps and compete one-on-one to get a scholarship. But then you go to big camp, you feel me? Like, then you get to the league when it's time you just compete on air. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy, bro. But like, I be wanting to see a little one-on-one. I want to see, like, I mean, I can go out there and kill a combine at receiver, no problem, just based off and so I might not run the fastest 40, but I'm gonna catch every pass because that's what I do my whole life. I want to see you do that versus a DB. That's all I'm saying.
Tell us about your time in Seattle, man.
Bro, the time in Seattle, Pete Carroll, bro, was...
How's Pete?
He was crazy, bro. Pete, I mean, you got to understand, like, Seattle was the only place I had been.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of people and a lot of organizations don't run the same way they do up in Seattle. Pete Carroll a little bit more chill, a little bit more laid back. Like, you can come to meetings like this.
Yeah.
You're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing that anywhere, you feel me? But one thing we knew as players, bro, like, when we got there out there on the field, bro, like, we competed. You know what I'm saying? So it was no problem. He didn't mind us coming into meetings like this if y'all gonna take y'all ass out there and do y'all, you know, what y'all supposed to do. So it was that part was cool, and he just allowed you to be yourself and didn't try to change you, and it was cool. It was one point in time, it was some things like, only bad thing I can say about Pete Carroll is he's so cool to the fact that, like, it's hard for him to be straightforward with you. Because everybody taking it light, you know. So it's just that was the hard part, to try to read in between the lines exactly what he's saying. But other than that, bro, it was set, bro. The weather was a good change too.
So my last question for you, Trevone, I'm gonna let you go and make your way around here. The relationship between professional players and the coach, because obviously you guys are grown men. And you know how it is, one grown man telling another grown man, 70-something to 100 grown men what to do. Yeah. You know, how did the coaches find that balance? How do y'all find that balance with the coaches? Because obviously one team needs to be able to be a unit.
I think, see, we just, being men, we're just wired a little bit different. Like, we don't have, at least certain, like, I don't have no problem with you giving me an order and me going to go do something. Especially something that I love. For like, sure. You're not saying this to hurt me. You know, he not telling me this to go hurt myself.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, you got to be able to take the good with the bad. And some people can, some people can't, right? You got to be able to be coached. But if you got a group of guys like that you can still, like, get on to them. Mm-hmm. But as a coach, it's hard because you got to know how to get on to a player, but you also got to know how to reward, too. And so that be the balance, bro. Football teaches us a lot, bro. Like, it's so much, even from playing, man. It's
discipline game.
I love the game of chess now. Like, this is really chess out here when you really doing this, man. And it's I wouldn't change it for the world.
My last question, I know.
Are you good,
because
bro?
I gotta ask this about the NIL deals, man.
Oh my God.
I know. I know. From when you was in school, because I know it wasn't even a thought. And we ain't gonna even, college players and who was getting paid and who wasn't, and all that stuff with Manziel. That was the stories and everything. Like, what do you feel now watching this? Like, man, I wish that this would have, now that it's like legit, had been there when I was still at TCU.
Man, I think. I mean, people been pushing for it forever, though. Yeah. You feel me? So, like, eventually we knew some were gonna shake, we all wish it would have happened earlier.
Because of the player likeness, NCAA.
Yeah, like NCAA. Yeah, so like we all knew it was eventually coming.
Yeah.
But like when it had like now, man, it's crazy. I'm seeing like I went up to TCU the other day. I'm seeing, bro, the football team and the basketball team look like rappers.
That's crazy.
Man, I'm talking about buzz down. Like how much you pay for that? How much you pay for that? People don't know, but TCU basketball team make 90. Each player on the team make $90K a year. A donor had enough money to donate at least for each player to get $90K a year.
Imagine, like literally, imagine yourself though, TCU quarterback Trevone Boykin at the time of the NIL deal, man.
I mean, I would have striked at least an M.
I'm just saying, $90K a year is crazy.
I would have striked at least an M.
Guys,
my last 2 years, I would have struck an M.
Trevone Boykin, former TCU Seattle Seahawks quarterback, man. I appreciate you for just coming
Appreciate
and
it,
chill
bro.
with us.
Appreciate it. Nah, for sure. Anytime.
Where can they find you, dude? I know
I'm on Instagram, T2 Boykin. You can hit me up, Facebook, Trevone Boykin. I'm easy accessible. I do it my own social media, so it's all me.
You got anything you're doing now that you want to let them know about? Just anything?
I'm USFL. Try to jump off with them this year and continue my career.
That's it, man. Hey, it's a Spot on Sports, man. Well, thank you for sitting down with us again. Y'all always welcome.